What is up, everyone? Hope you're keeping well and welcome back to the channel. We're coming to you live from a hotel room in Waterford, so different setup this week. Fingers crossed the Wi-Fi does stay alright, so do let us know if you can see me alright, if you can hear me alright. It seems to be okay. I was chatting to the owner of this hotel. It's a B&B, but it's a hotel at breakfast, and it sounds like, or it seems like the Wi-Fi should be fine, but let's see. As we all know, we've a big stream ahead. So we need to make sure this runs smoothly for the next 2 hours or so. Hope everybody is keeping well, as I did say. Do let us know where you're watching from in the world. I can see we've got Ryan in the chat, a good mate of mine. Ryan, I hope you're keeping well, man. We've got Adam, we've got John. Who else have we there? Brundlefly, Roy then as well. Yeah, big stream ahead, massive stream ahead for the season. We're doing well. If you are joining to the channel first off, I'm 1.7 million overall, so not a bad start to the season. We need a big push on now with this wildcard to try and get up the ranks a bit more. But this is how the team is looking as of now. Brundlefly, everything spot on, good stuff. Hopefully it will be like this for the next 2 hours or so. But yeah, this is what we're looking like as of now. I do think we're going to make a few changes anyway before the deadline. Bench boost 8 is in my mind, and as well bench boost in game week 8. For now, we've got Raya, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Semenyo, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, and João Pedro, Haaland, and Gyökeres. Going through that team now, to be honest with you, looking at that, the certs that are locked in is only going to be Raya, Gabriel, Senesi, Semenyo, Reinders, João Pedro, and Haaland. So what's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players are definitely locked into that game, or into that starting 11. Of a few on my bench then as well. I need to decide about 2 if I'm looking at a bench boost then as well. Let's get my bench up here for now. If I'm looking at a bench boost in game week 8, I want Dubravka, I want Esteve for that game week 8 fixture at home against Leeds. But then at Anderson, am I really going to have Anderson? I'm probably not going to start him until game week 11, is it? If I do have him in the team. Game week 8, up until then he's Arsenal. Yeah, game week 10, I'm probably not going to start Anderson, so maybe he's going to make way out of my team. But we've lots to decide, lots to ponder before the deadline. But that's how we're shaping up now. Send in your questions. Do let us know where you're watching from in the world. We've got Jason in the chat, who's a member of the Patreon. Jason, good man. Cheers for tuning in. Adam then as well. But yeah, send in your questions, and I'm gonna flick through a wildcard team. I also have to decide if I'm going to have a Salah and Haaland draft or just a Haaland draft. Yeah, but anyway, right. Jono, first off, is that John Amara? It is a hand tip. Morning, Niall. Do a triple captain Haaland. If you're not wildcarding, triple captain Haaland is a play this week. Adam below you there is saying Haaland triple captain locked in. If you don't have your wildcard in play, if I didn't have my wildcard in play, I'd be looking towards a Haaland triple captain this week. I spoke about my chip strategy in my last video, the last stream then as well. Probably looking towards a game week 15 or 14 triple captain. Whether that's I think Haaland has Sunderland at home, or Salah has Liverpool, or Salah has Leeds away from home if I get back into the team for then. But yeah, lots to ponder about chip strategy then as well. Bench boost is pretty much a lock in game week 8. And yeah, we'll see where the free hit falls into play then. Maybe it's going to be a 15 triple captain and a free hit in 14 then as well. Claire from Clare, not from Clare this morning from Belfast. Claire, hope if you're on your holidays, good woman, hope all is well. Cheers for tuning in as always. Right, what are we saying there? Haaland locked in for triple captain, very fair. Everything spot on. Brundlefly, great to see that. Roy in the chat then as well. Good morning. What do you do about João Pedro? Is it a must? Should I transfer him out? One of Kudos, Bruno and Dye to afford it. I'm on wildcard. I was driving up. Well, sorry, I wasn't driving up. Leo, he's probably watching this stream at the moment. He drove up last night when we were chatting all the way, so I didn't see any reports on João Pedro, so I'm just going to take a quick look. But I think he's fine. I did see that he trained yesterday, so I don't know where that's coming from. João Pedro only trained for the first time yesterday, and his own fitness issues following Man United last weekend, but he's expected to be fine for inclusion tomorrow, and it was his birthday yesterday then as well, so he's going to get a birthday goal against Brighton. He hasn't scored or assisted against Brighton. I wonder why that is, because he's played for them. I can see a tweet there. But yeah, he's expected to be fine tomorrow. At his ownership, without Palmer in the team, he has to be there. Looking at that game week 9 captaincy for João Pedro against Sunderland at home in that game then as well. Right, then we're so close to hitting. We're about 80 off in here, but we're so close to hitting 8k subs then as well. So if you are watching, first off, please do give the stream a like. We're on 6 likes. Let's try and get up to 10 likes if we can at all. Let's get it pushed out to a few more people around the world, especially for the week considering. And the effort going in to get this stream done, but it has to be done. I was rushing the breakfast there then as well. I left half it behind, but just to make sure we got live and direct for this stream. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. It would be great if we could hit 8k or get close to hitting 8k this morning. For the morning that's in it. Colin Johnson, London, UK, morning mate. Cheers for tuning in from London. Fair play to you. Hallen locked in for triple captain, sitting 40k in the world, Adam. Fair play, good stuff. Who's on my bench then? I've got Anderson, Dubravka. Let's get it up here. Anderson, Dubravka, Esteve, Stach. I'm not fully gone on the Stach hype, to be fair. I kind of fell into it with his 15 pointer last week. I was on a Leeds for him during the week. Stach only gets 2 goals maximum every year, so he's got his goal last week against Wolves. If I want to bench boost 8 anyway, I'm probably looking for I'm obviously looking for a Burnley clean sheet anyway, so I'm probably going to move away from Stach, to be honest with you. Probably looking towards a Caicedo. Let me see who Chelsea have in game week 8. Is it Everton? No, City of Everton. Maybe Caicedo on the bench boost for a few DEFCON. Chelsea have Forest in the early kickoff. Fair enough. Forest aren't going great, so maybe we get him in. You're not playing Virgil van Dijk or just save the 2 million in the bank for future transfers, Jack. I don't think I'm going to have Van Dijk, to be honest with you, looking at Liverpool's fixtures. If I right, let's have a chat about what I'm eyeing up here. So as I said, I'm happy with Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, Senesi, Esteve, fair enough for the bench boost. It's only Anderson and Van de Ven, Semenyo and Dye, Reinders, Bruno. Stach is probably going to go. Anderson is probably going to go. I love Anderson for his 10 pointer last week, and he got me a few DEFCON points when I needed him off the bench earlier on the season. So it's going to be sad to see him go anyway, but especially that 10 pointer against Leeds, was it 2 or 3 game weeks ago. Gyökeres or Saka. Gyökeres, just probably on the basis of his penalties, to be honest with you. West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley. He hasn't done well against the big teams. Fulham away is a tough fixture. Crystal Palace at home isn't the easiest fixture either. But definitely that game week 7 against West Ham, if he gets a goal or a couple of assists in that game, which I do think Arsenal will get a few in that game, especially if he is on penalties himself anyway. I think he should be 9.1, 9.2 at least by game week 8, and I'm happy enough to have him in the team over Saka, on the basis he is going to be on penalties. So we have 11.7 for 2 players there. A lot of people ask me about why not Grealish, why are you going Ndiaye? First off, Ndiaye is a DEFCON monster for a midfielder. He's got 2 DEFCON returns in his last 2 games on penalties. Jack Grealish is the man if you're not on bench boost. If I wasn't on bench boost in game week 8, Grealish would be my team now, and I could just sub in Caicedo instead of Grealish that week. But Grealish, it looks fantastic. Never mind about his physical appearance, his football ability. Since he's joined Everton, he's been brilliant. Even that Liverpool game, he was very unlucky not to get a few returns in that game. But Ndiaye is fine there, just because I'm bench boosting that week. But going through here, Bruno Fernandes is probably a lock in just because of that fixture in game week 7 against Sunderland next week. Probably going to captain him in that fixture. Or maybe Haaland. We'll see. It's a toss up between the two. João Pedro is fine. He did train. He's going to get a berth to return against Brighton, against his old club. But yeah, let's mess around with this for a sec. If I put in Caicedo 5-6 and then a 6-1 for a defender, if I just go Tarkowski 5.5, but then who am I going to bench this week? Then I'm giving myself a bit of a benching headache. Is it Van de Ven I'm going to bench? Probably want to play Van de Ven this week. Tarkowski, Senesi and Gabriel will probably be the 3 I'd be playing this week, especially if I've already got Raya. I might as well double up on the Arsenal defence. Van de Ven has been so good to me then as well, but looking at Spurs' fixtures, is it just going to be this game I'm going to play him in? Leeds away, Villa at home. Okay, fair enough. So I'll probably want to play him next week. Senesi, Fulham at home. Tarkowski, Crystal Palace. Could maybe bench Tarkowski next week, but I don't know anything about Tarkowski in game week 8. It's not ideal for the bench boost, but he's playing Man City. He might get some DEFCON points as he already does or has done every game week. I know Senesi is every game week. Tarkowski might have missed out on one week. Yeah, 1 week. So 4 to 5 DEFCONs for Tarkowski. He's a solid pick. I know he's that price point of being a bit extra, but yeah, let's see. Niall Hopper in the chat then. Another United winning incoming. Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Senesi, Timber, Grealish, Cunha, Reinders, Semenyo, Pedro, Haaland, Gyökeres, Van Dijk, Mings, Anderson bench. Any thoughts? If you're benching Van Dijk, is there much point having him in your team? I just haven't been already. I know it's Timber, Van de Ven and Senesi have nice fixtures this week, but you have to be playing Van Dijk if he's that much. Don't like the Cunha pick, Niall, to be honest with you. But apart from that, you're looking good. So Pedro, Haaland, Gyökeres is a template front three anyhow. Maybe not Cunha, maybe Bruno over Cunha. You can surely stretch that. Foden, Reinders or Doku, choose one. Samuel, Reinders at his price definitely for a 1 week punt. Foden, and if you can go to Bruno Fernandes next week, fair enough. I'd go for that. But Doku is a transfer out waiting to happen. My friend Leo here, who's just left the hotel room while I'm streaming here, could have got him on stream, but maybe towards the end he might hop in. But he had Doku in his team, and I was telling him he's a transfer out waiting to happen. He's fine for one game week against Burnley, but I don't think he's a good long term pick. You're gonna transfer him out sooner rather than later. Reinders, Foden, Doku in that order. Foden is a nice punt as well. It's just pepper roulette, but I think he's going to be fine at that price point. Reinders has to be in your team anyway. You're not playing Van Dijk or Virgil van Dijk, or just saving the 2 million. That's what I could be going towards now, Jack. A solid more balance to the team anyway, and especially for a bench boost. That's the worst thing about the bench boost, I will say, is I'm wasting a lot of money. But that being said, Caicedo then at home to Sunderland in game week 9, João Pedro, him as well. That's the thought of having Caicedo on the team. Haaland playing or injured, he's back. Don't worry, he's in there then as well. Denise, do you recommend a Salah and Haaland team? Looking at Salah with his fixtures then as well, just at his price point, I'll try build a Salah and Haaland team. I don't think I'm going to go to. I think I've comfortably put it in my head now that I'm not gonna have Salah, and any returns he does get, I'm just have to gonna deal with it. But looking at Salah's fixtures, if you can get him up here if it wants to load, Crystal Palace away. Even in the next 5 there, Palace, Chelsea, United, Brentford, Villa. Maybe the Villa game you might captain him. It's only then in game week 11 you're gonna captain him for Forest. Or sorry, game week 12 for Forest, and then West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds. So I'll definitely be getting Salah back in game week 12. But looking at those fixtures, Chelsea away, wouldn't captain him in that fixture. United at home, maybe he's got a good record against United. Brentford away, fair enough. Brentford are pretty poor, but when you're looking at other fixtures, you can captain João Pedro against Sunderland. You can captain Bruno Fernandes against Sunderland as well. Haaland fits into those weeks nicer than his two. City have decent fixtures during those weeks as well. At that price point, I don't think I'm going to be captaining Salah over those weeks, so I'm content without having him in the team. It's what you can do with the money around you, especially with the bench boost then as well. Hindsight's a great thing. Probably should have played it in game week 2 as I originally intended to when Burnley had that fabled fixture against, who was it? One of the promoted teams anyhow. And they did get their clean sheet. It was against Sunderland, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Salah. It obviously is a big risk going without Salah. It's just the captaincy, the money you're putting into the rest of the players around Salah when you're not going to captain them. That's the only thing then as well. So absolutely nothing wrong with going for a Salah and Haaland team. It's just a balance of players around it that you can go if you leave off Salah. Gabriel versus Anderson this week. Gabriel. I said it in my first video during the week. Gabriel saving his attacking returns for when we have him in the team. That's all. Adam Kidd, Iwobi, I put in 2 weeks ago, paid off last week, still has a good run of fixtures, and I have Grealish. I think he might be a keeper for the season. Grealish definitely, as I said, just because I'm bench boosting in game week 8, that's why I'm not going Grealish. Michael O'Connor, good man, Michael. Can you assess my wildcard team? Not sure. My lack of Liverpool coverage. I do have 3 free transfers for game week 7 though. Good stuff. I should have 2 for game week 7 then as well. So even after the wildcard, I can clean up a bit of the mess if a mess does happen. But let's get you up here then and see how we're going. 34 in the chat then as well, which is great to see. We're nearly on 10 likes. If we can get to 15 likes in the next couple of minutes or so, head on down there, please. Give the stream a like. Let's get a push out to a few more people. And yeah, thanks for the few new subs since we started there. That's great to see also. Right, Michael, let's get you up here. What are we saying? Feel free to dissect it. Where are we going? So the Dubravka, Raya, Gabriel, O'Reilly. Wouldn't have O'Reilly anyway. Anderson, Senesi, Alderete. Depends if you're bench boosting or not, Michael, then as well. This is your team. You already have Watkins. So Watkins has to go. Get Gyökeres in. Ndai, Bruno, Statch, Semenyo, Reinders is fine. Probably go Statch to Caicedo like myself. And then Gabriel, Anderson, Senesi is fine. I think you probably need a Tarkowski or a Van de Ven, and pretty much the team on screen there, Michael. If you want to go with me, feel free to. But Watkins has to go. O'Reilly probably has to go then as well at that price point. He's going to be fine for the Burnley game. Future weeks, is he? Probably not. Xhaka or Statch, let us know if that's alright, Michael. Good man. Xhaka or Statch this week or for long term. Much of a muchness really. If you can even stretch to Caicedo, probably then as well. I put Isak 2. I think from today on he's going to stay in the first 11. Adam, fair. It's just the uncertainty around his price point then as well. 10.5 million. Slot said he's going to play 60 to 70 minutes this week. Is he going to play the majority of weeks then as well? Probably. I think he was a bit pissed off with the way Ekitike was going. I think with Isak though, similar to Salah, he's 4 million cheaper than Salah, but he's still at a premium price point then. 10.5 for Isak. Are you going to captain him the majority of weeks leading up to game week 12? Probably not. If you're not going to captain Salah, you're definitely not going to captain Isak. So at his price point, I don't think I'd be going for Isak then as well. There's nothing wrong with it if you do want to. He's guaranteed, not guaranteed, but he's pretty certain of a start this week. But just his price point, you could get a Gyökeres a 1.5 million cheaper. You could use that money to upgrade as Xavi Simons to Bruno Fernandes or whoever's 7.5 million. Xavi is 7, so that's bad maths there. But with that extra 1.5 million, you can do a lot more. Even going from a 4 million to a Tarkowski, who's pretty much going to get you DEFCON 90% of the time every week. So, and these 2 points add up. Lads and women who are in the chat here, these 2 points add up. If you get 3 DEFCON over the space of 3 weeks, that's a goal for a defender. Is it worth the extra premium price? Probably is, to be honest with you. If you're getting 2 points, 3 out every 4 weeks, that's an attack and return, one every 4 weeks. So I think it probably is worth it, to be honest with you, going from a 4 million to a 5.5, for example, Tarkowski there. But that's the only thing about Isak. If you're not going to captain him, that's why I wouldn't be going there. But just keep that in mind with the DEFCON. I know it's only 2 points every week, but these 2 points adds up. Same as that a goal, it's 2 assists, 6 points over 3 or 4 weeks. And you definitely take that when you say it in that narrative of an attack and return, 2 attack and returns in 4 weeks, but it's actually 3 DEFCONs, 2 assists, same points. In that narrative, it sounds a lot better. So that's just my thoughts on it. Do let me know what you think of that. Not bringing any of the Liverpool lads in. No, I can always downgrade Bruno if I have to. I'd love to have Foden this week. Reinders is enough. A bit of a bench and headache anyway. Caicedo's going to probably drop to the bench. But he's up against his old team then as well. So fingers crossed he doesn't go too mad on the tackles and doesn't come out of it like Sanchez did last week. But Sanchez can't play this week, so that's fine. If you're not wildcarding him, get him into the team. Thoughts on Isak instead of Gyökeres? Same thing with that then as well. Gyökeres does have the fixtures. He is on penalties then too. Just with my team there, I know I don't have a Liverpool player, so I probably should, but just can't fit them in with their fixtures. If I have to downgrade Bruno after game week 7, after the Sunderland game, can always do that when he does have Liverpool on the horizon. But I am blocking myself out of Saka. I already have triple Arsenal there, but I'm happy enough to have Gyökeres in the team. He is on penalties, as I keep saying. That probably just sways it with that then too. Good stuff. Right, we've 53 in the chat, which is great to see. Do give us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're so close to 8k subs. This is what the team is looking like as of now, and I really do appreciate the few new subs in as well. If you are joining the stream late, I'm live from Waterford. One of my friends is getting married today, so I hope he's not watching. I'm gonna have to say I prioritise getting the stream done. But the bus isn't collecting us at 12 o'clock, so we've plenty of time. But just because it's a wild card week, we had to get the stream done. So thanks for everyone for joining in so far this morning. It's great to see those numbers already, and let's get it pushed out to a few more people around the world if we can at all. Just with Gyökeres, same thing with Isak. If I'm not captaining Isak, I don't really think it's worth the 1.5 million more for Isak over Gyökeres. Gyökeres can do well against West Ham. Fulham away is a difficult fixture. Crystal Palace isn't a too easy fixture also, but all he needs is a penalty or Saka to work his magic down the wing and and put on a play from like AZ did against Forest. So a few more of them, please, Saka, and we'll take that. Any news on Leeds goalkeepers? I've Darlow as my number one. Not sure on that. If you are bench boosting though in game week 8, run the fly, I'd be going Dubravka. Would not bother with a Leeds goalkeeper. That being said, they are looking decent in defence. I've just recency bias on Dubravka because of his 4-pointer last week, and I played him over Sanchez to give me an extra 7 points. So I've a nice relationship with Dubravka, so that's why I'm telling you to go for him. And with the fact that Burnley are at home. Let's see if there's any news from Leeds on their keeper situation. Burnley Leeds. Carl Darlow will continue in goal. There you go, run the fly. If Darlow is your number one, Farkas said Carl Darlow will continue in goal. So there you go, that's all you need to know. Good stuff. Right then, Dr. K34. My team is Raya, Dubravka, Senesi, Gordon, or Rodan, I'm assuming you mean there, Van Dijk, Calafiori, Van de Ven, Bruno, Kudos and Dice, Semenyo, Reinders, Haaland, Gui and Zhao. Any changes on Wildcard? Take out Gui. If you're bench boosting, take him out. If not, it's fine keeping them to save you 0.2 or 0.1 of a million. That's fine. If you're bench boosting, get Gui out of the team. He's not going to play on game week 8 if you're looking for that. Ndai is fine. Kudus is fine. You have Semenyo, you do. You're probably missing a Bruno Fernandes there. Or you have Bruno, sorry. Who are you missing there? So it's a decent team. So Van de Ven, Van Dijk, Calafiori is fine. Raya, Dubravka, all good there. Senesi, Bruno, Kudos, Ndai, Semenyo, Reinders. That's a strong midfield. Haaland at João Pedro, and then that's where your money is. So in Gui, if you can't get the Gyökeres, you're probably missing an Arsenal attacker there. Probably go towards Richarlison of Spurs. He came out with a 9-pointer last week, most poxiest goal ever. Richarlison got against Brighton last week. I think Kenny Cunningham said it was a brilliant touch in the box. It wasn't. I think Kudos was taking a shot. It just hit off Richarlison, and he controlled it away from himself, but it was close enough to him to swing the leg at it. But I'd go Gui to Richarlison, and then you're good to go then as well. I'm going Vardy all on my wild card over Defcon Tarek. Nothing wrong with that then as well. I could nearly go Vardy all myself, but then I think I have too many good defenders this week. That'll give me Gabriel, Senesi, Vardy all. I can get Vardy all if I want to. 6-1. Do I go for him just because he looks like me? I have him for the Burnley game. 5.8. Oh, nice. Okay, so he's dropped big time. 90. So he's just back into the team. Interesting. Game week 8 against Everton. Then it's Triple City. Interesting. Have the decent fixtures. Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Leeds. Not hectic for clean sheets. Brentford away, fair enough. Donnarumma. I didn't realise he was that cheap. Fair enough though. If you can stretch Tarkowski, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Might have to decide on that then as well. But with Vardy all, he does get the. Or with Tarkowski, sorry, he gets the Defcon. That's the only thing. Thoughts on Richarlison over Gyökeres? As I was saying there, Senan, nothing wrong with Richarlison. Only thing with Gyökeres, you're getting penalties. Richarlison might be on penalties. I'm not sure who's going to be on penalties for Spurs. Maybe he will be. But I think it's all good there. If you want to save some money and you don't want to go Gyökeres, as long as you've got Saka in midfield, then it's fine. But I'd make sure you have some Arsenal cover, considering their fixtures. Richarlison or João Pedro this week. This week alone, probably Richarlison. Long term, it has to be João Pedro because of that captaincy in game week 9. What do you think about Kudus, Semenyo and Ndai over Kudus? Kudus would probably be third in my planning, but I'd be going Semenyo and Ndai, even Grealish. Cian, morning. What do you think the best 5.2 midfielder or below is to buy this week? Statch is the talk of the FPL community this week at his price point, 5 million. So Keane, if you can only get 5, probably go for that. Even Josh King for Fulham, 4.5. If you want to save 0.7, maybe you could go that route. But Statch is a talk of the town at the moment, but if you can nearly stretch to 5-6 for Caicedo, maybe go that if you can. Josh Moore's Jadon Anthony being overlooked for 5.5 million. Potentially with Caicedo, it's an extra 0.1. Maybe go for him. He's racking up the DEFCON every week, so probably just go that way. Right then, what else are we saying? Hey Harley, should I triple captain my Haaland? My current rank was 9,000 last week, but had a shocker. Harley, if you're not wildcarding, Haaland triple captain this week is how I'd be saying, or how I'd be planning. If I wasn't wildcarding, I probably would captain Haaland or triple captain Haaland this week. Hey, would you put Vardy in for Game Week 7? If you're only looking for him for Game Week 7, you should have him for Game Week 6 for the Burnley fixture. So just go for it now and get him in, Martin, if you do want him. Should I play Anderson and sub Gyökeres, as I've gone double Arsenal on defence with Gabriel and Raya, and Arsenal against Newcastle who have a good defence? I'd put Gyökeres in there. He might struggle this week, but Anderson is a boring pick. He might get DEFCON Anderson. I know they're playing Sunderland, but Sunderland looked very good not during the week against Aston Villa last week, even with 10 men. But Villa are just piss poor at the moment. That's all I feel like. But I'd still start Gyökeres. You can't be benching Gyökeres for 5.5 million DEFCON player who mightn't even get it this week. But with Gyökeres, he is on penalties, don't forget. So if Arsenal do get one, you'd expect him to stick it away. Richarlison or Gyökeres to bring in, just make sure if you're going Richarlison, make sure you have Saka for some Arsenal cover there as well. Bruno and Reinders or Foden and Mbeumo. Bruno and Reinders or Foden and Mbeumo. Bruno and Reinders, that's what we're going for. Bench boosted last week, 77 points and on top of 100k. Bruno Fly, love that. You're flying, good man, good stuff. Ndai or Kudos? Ndai. I'll go Ndai, yeah. Semenyo, Ndai, Kudos in that order. Stature, Xhaka considering Game Week 8. Who is Xhaka in Game Week 8? Statures as Burnley, who have Sunderland in Game Week 8. Wolves, maybe Xhaka. I'm going to be biased because I've double Burnley defence in Game Week 8. Dubravka and Esteve, so I'm going to be biased and say go with Xhaka at home to Wolves. Maybe that's all good. Right then, good stuff. Let's keep this going. Do a triple captain Haaland today. I'm having doubts. Been stung so many times. I'd say go for it. Burnley might have that, they will have that low block like they had similar to the Liverpool game. But I think if Haaland if City gets an early goal, it could be 4 or 5. So nothing wrong with captain and Haaland. Triple captain, I'm sorry. Whereas Virgil, it's just the fixtures. Sergi, it's just the fixtures. I can get him if I want to. Maybe I do go for him. It's just the fixtures. Playing that much for Virgil. We can probably go for Tarkowski, but looking at Tarkowski, Crystal Palace next week, so I probably would go. Okay, it's a Friday night deadline next week. Nice. Good stuff. Get it out of the way. Looking at this, so yeah, next week maybe I could even go Dan Burn and get me bench and headaches gone. Leeds for Spurs against Villa. When Newcastle have Brighton, I probably wouldn't play Burn in that week anyway. Game week 9, Newcastle against Fulham, Spurs against Everton. So maybe I'm not going to play Van de Ven as much as I want to. So maybe I take Van de Ven out and go Dan Burn instead. Right, a few decisions I have to think about. My wild card, I've Haaland, Isak and Gyökeres in attack. Happy with it, but I think I could let me down defensively. I would spend a lot on them. Haaland, Isak and Gyökeres. I'd go João Pedro over Isak, and then you can upgrade your defence. So I'd be going for that. That's what I'd be advising there. I think going back to what I said with Isak, if you're not captaining him in those weeks, there's not much point having him at that price. You can even out your money elsewhere there. Right then, Ryan Tarkowski or Donnarumma and Gabriel. Donnarumma and Gabriel. I know you're paying more, but that's what we're going for there. My wildcard Mike is Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, Vardiol, Senesi, Anderson, Mukulele, Bruno, Reinders, Statch, Semenyo and Dye, Haaland, Gyökeres, Pedro. 0.9 in the bank. Raya, Dubravka fine. Gabriel, Vardiol, Senesi fine. Bruno, Reinders, Semenyo and Dye is fine this week. That's a strong wildcard team. Haaland, Gyökeres, Pedro. All good there. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I took out Esteve, O'Reilly and Watkins for Van de Ven, Alderete and Gyökeres. 1.6 million in the bank, can get Virgil, Vardiol and or leave as is. if you're bench boosting in game week 8, Michael, I'd keep a stay away. O'Reilly and Watkins can go definitely if you can get Gyökeres and who's the rest of your defence there? What were you saying? If you can get, who are you missing there? You have Senesi. If you can get a Tarkowski and Gyökeres for O'Reilly and Watkins, that's what I'd be leaving at as there. Let us know if that's alright, man. Right then, plenty going on here in the Patreon. I'm tempted by Tarkowski. Okay, yeah, I want to keep some funds in case I need Isak or Palmer. You've JP least in. Good stuff. Let's see. Let's get a poll going here while I'm getting this up and going. What are you using this week? Because by the looks of it, Haaland is going to be well over 200% effective ownership. So if you're using your wild card, you might hope Haaland doesn't go too bad. Because with the triple captain, he'll surely be over 200% effective ownership. So that means if he is, we'll be wanting Haaland to blank this week. But let's see. We want him to return, but not too much. Right then, what else are we saying? Abdullah, do a transfer Gakpo to Ndai or roll? Or again, bench boost with this. Bench boost. Brundlefly, watch another FPL stream that talked about stats in detail and never gets more than 2 goals. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Brundlefly. It seems like a value trap. Yeah, I was on a Leeds forum during the week and they said that he never gets more than two a season. So I think everyone was getting blindsided by his 15-pointer last week. So yeah, I think that's why people are falling into that. Not going to say trap, because he might be alright for DEFCON in that Burnley game when I would want him. But yeah, I was saying that earlier. He's a 2-goal season man. He's a good lad to follow on Instagram. If he's a bit of crack on Instagram anyway, so check out his page on Instagram. He's funny with his posts. Yash, no Liverpool player this week, but if I want to buy next week, Isak, how to shift. I have money there. If I want to go Gyökeres to Isak, I won't anyway. But I can go Gyökeres to Isak if I want. If he's not performing, I want Gyökeres for the West Ham game definitely, and then I can swap him if I don't go Tarkowski. So let's see how we do on that. Right, good stuff. Keep the questions coming in if you can at all. I'm just going to flick through these in my Patreon. But it's had expensive. Keane is only 6 points behind him and 1 million cheaper. What about him? Brandwaite will be back soon. Why Tarkowski can consider good for this wild card? Just he's a DEFCON monster. If I'm looking to bench boost in game week 8, he will be benched against City. On my bench boost, it's more the fact racking up the DEFCON points. As I said earlier, 3 DEFCONs is a goal or 2 assists over 3, 4, 5 weeks. It sounds a lot better. Oh, you got 2 assists in 5 weeks. You got a goal in 5 weeks. 3 DEFCON, 6 points. Probably is worth the extra money. It's just a fact with the player pool then with of picks. Munoz isn't as luxurious as he was last year. We have the likes of Frimpong and Kirk has not performed at their price tag. Who else was a good shout last year? Nori, but he's been injured. We're not picking wing backs. We're picking centre backs, and that lessens the player pool of who we're all going for. Even the likes of fair enough, Pedro Porras is probably an exclusion to that list, but Munoz this year, he's not going to attack and return. He's getting the odd DEFCON, alright, but when you compare him to the likes of Senesi, who's getting DEFCON every week, so that's 10 points, an extra 10 points over the first 5 weeks for Senesi with that DEFCON. That's a goal and an assist and an extra and a bonus. It's crazy when you're comparing him to the likes of Nate Noria. I know who's injured, but the player pool with this DEFCON, we're looking for more centre backs as opposed to wing backs, and that's where maybe they've got it wrong this year when the wing backs aren't as luxurious with the likes of a Trent, who is gone. But there's no major wing back we want in our teams this year. Just with what's going on with the DEFCON. Then I'd have Dubravka and Esteve, Michael. Yeah, for the game week 8 bench boost, I'd keep Dubravka and Esteve. Husam, what game week will I use bench boost? I'll be looking towards it in game week 8. Leeds are Burnley at home to Leeds. Chelsea have Forest in that early kickoff. So if I do go Caicedo, he's in the team anyhow there. Just need to sort out if I'm keeping Van de Ven. Van de Ven for a game week 8 bench boost might be another issue then as well if I take out Van de Ven. At home to Aston Villa, maybe I don't want him for that game, but he is good value. So I need to ponder that for a bench boost. Even if I go a Sunderland 4 million defender over Van de Ven and save money that way, consider I'm not going to be playing them anyway until game week 8. So maybe I do. Let's see how we decide on before the deadline. But we've plenty of time. But with Tarkowski, it's just a DEFCON, yeah. Right, then we've nearly 50 in the chat, which is great to see. We're nearly on 20 likes. If you wouldn't mind going down there, giving the stream a like, let's try and get to 25 likes if we can at all. And while you're down there, if you are new to the channel, please do consider hitting subscribe on the channel. We're so close to hitting 8k subs. It'd be great to get close with it, or even hit it on this stream then as well, considering the day that's in it with the wildcard. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could go down and do that if you haven't done so already. Martin Cullen, think Cucurella out for Vardiol would be a good move. I think so, yeah, go for that. Patrick, Salah to Bruno and Mbeumo this week or next week. If you're not wildcarding and you have Haaland, keep Salah. You can keep him this week, have Bruno or Mbeumo next week for the Sunderland game. Yeah. What was above there? Sorry, Cormac, who missed that. Who do I bench out of Semenyo, Grealish, Reinders, Bruno, Kudos, JP, Haaland and Richarlison? Leaning towards JP due to the fixtures. Maybe. Semenyo, Grealish, Reinders, Bruno, Kudos, Haaland and Richarlison. Maybe JP, but I don't think I would. But you can't really bench Kudos either. It's a toss up between Kudos and JP. Maybe Kudos because you've already got Richarlison. I'd want JP if he is going to be on penalties. Another thing about actually Caicedo, now that it's in my head, what price is Enzo? 6.7, right? Forget about him. Not going for that. If he was around 5.5, maybe I would have considered Enzo. But with Caicedo, I think I'm happy enough to keep him in there for his DEFCON. He can pick that up over the weeks. Salah to Bruno this week. Nah, keep Salah this week. Maybe next week if you want to captain Bruno. Against Sunderland, which I might be going towards that. Thoughts on my wildcard: Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Salah, Semenyo, Kudos, Reinders, KDH, Haaland, Pedro, Dubravka, Mukelele. Yeah, am I saying that right? Mukelele or Mukelele? He's not a ukulele. Foster, good Munson on the bench. Always a great stream. Alex, appreciate that. Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi is fine. Salah, Semenyo. So you're going Salah and Haaland, which is interesting. Okay. Obviously Dewsbury Hall every week isn't ideal, but sure, look at that price, you're getting Haaland and Salah. To be fair, it's not a bad shout not going Gyökeres considering he's been that poor. But with the fixtures for Arsenal, with the fixtures for Liverpool, going back to the captaincies as I was saying, I'm not going to be captain Gyökeres, but it's just a fact. The fixtures are there, and I don't want to be paying 14.5 million for Salah. The worst thing about Salah is Salah. Well, first off, Salah hasn't even got going yet this season, and I might regret not having him in the team just for that. But he's ticking along nicely, he's getting returns, and he hasn't even got going. And we all know he's going to be the Salah from last year when he does get going. Just for now, I don't think he's worth that price point. We've been flirting around with the captaincies. Just got a notification there: 717,681 transfers out for Salah this week. So he could be close to surely a fall this week, but. With Salah, it's just the fixtures with the captaincy. That's all I will say. If you want to keep him in, there's absolutely nothing wrong with keeping Salah in. It's Salah. After all, I'm going to stop saying that now, but I'm content with going against him. It's not going to be an easy watch going against Salah. for the next 5, 6, 7 weeks or so. But he will be back in the team from game week 12 when their fixtures do turn around. But yeah, Alex, thoughts on your wildcard? Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, all good there. Salah, Semenyo, Kudus, Reiners, KDH, Haaland, Pedro. Nothing wrong with that. If you have a bench boost available, it might let you down, but because the bench is a bit weak, but you might have played it already, so you're good to go there. Van Dijk or Tarkowski for wildcard. I had Gabriel, Senesi, Rodon and Anderson. Out of those, because what I'm going to go with then as well, maybe Tarkowski. Looking at Van Dijk, or maybe do I just keep Van de Beek? I was going to say it. Maybe I'll just keep Van Dijk because of his threat from set pieces. With Tarkowski, he has Wolves, which is probably making me want to lean towards him. But then I'm looking towards that City game in Game Week 8. I have to be mindful of him playing City, but he can pick up Defcon there. Let's see. We'll come back to the rest of my team there, but I'm pretty much locked in. Even if I take out Van de Ven, let's take out Van de Ven there. The rest of the team, I'm grand with that. It's just the last two defenders there. Do I go with 2 4s? If I go with a Sunderland, the wing back for Sunderland, especially that have with them having Wolves in game week, he's getting the Defcon as well, isn't he? Or did he get an assist that game? Minutes played. Oh yeah, he's getting 16, 12, 14. Interesting. Okay, so if I go Ukulele there, I'll have Gabriel, Senesi, Esteve, and then a 6-7 for a defender. I'm just focusing towards a bench boost. So that would be Senesi. Do I want to play him every week? To be fair, I do. He's got the Defcon then as well. Gabriel is fine, and then it's just sorting my last defender. Maybe I don't have to pay too much for a defender. Maybe I could get away with that, which I could do instead of spending a lot or blowing a lot of money away in my defence, because he does have Wolves at home in game week 8, which isn't too bad for a bench boost considering I can just move him to the bench for that Wolves fixture. Interesting. Okay. Right, and then it's either Tarkowski, Van Dijk for this week. Maybe I do go back to Van Dijk, or maybe I leave it with Tarkowski. Do I want double everything? Let's see. For now, bench boost solely in mind, I could probably get away just doing that and keeping a bit of money on my bench. But we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Let me know what you think of that. Wildcard only at 81% this week, which is interesting. 43 votes on that. Van Dijk or Tarkowski at Gabriel, Senesi, Rodon and Anderson. Van Dijk or Tarkowski? I can't answer that at the moment. Maybe Van Dijk I'm more leaning towards now. Maybe just because United at home. I'll have Bruno gone out of the team for that. Anyway, what formation are you playing and who's first sub? 3-4-3. Gabriel, Senesi, someone else. Caicedo on the bench, and fill in the blanks there, Adam, for the rest of that. Alex, can't take myself to bring Salah out. Very fair. Very, very fair. Yeah, I've plenty of money there, and even if I do go for a Van Dijk, I still have 0.7 or 0.8 in the bank, and yeah, maybe I'm shifting my focus towards Sunderland now in game week 8. So that'll give me a bench boost of two Burnley, 1 Sunderland, and probably Caicedo, or probably Ndiaye. Is that a strong enough bench boost? Probably not. I just need if I got double digits, if I got 10 from that bench boost, I'd be happy enough with that. Mukele. I need to pronounce his name right. I'm giving him a tough time there, but if I get his Defcon there, that's fine on that. Right, 12 minutes to 10. We're flying this morning. I'm just going to give this a little retweet to get it out across a few more people. If you are enjoying the stream, as I said, please do give it a like. We're on 60 plus viewers at the moment, which is great to see. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do consider heading on down there, giving the channel a subscription. We're so close to hitting 8k subs. I keep saying it. I'm sorry for keep saying it, but we are. It'd be great to get close to that before the end of the stream, or even hit it. Doku, King or Reinders, Zaka. Reinders out of that, Kareem. Mo Villa also, what do you think of Richarlison option instead of Gyökeres? Let me just see. If I go Richarlison, I think I prefer having Gyökeres anyway, just because of their fixtures. Richarlison, of course, I'm going to have to change it to forwards, and it's going to be there of 8.9. Bang on enough for Salah, but it's not enough. Okay, interesting. No, I'm going to bring Gyökeres back in. Because I hate having money on my bench. With having no Salah, I should have plenty of money anyway. It's just whether the fact, even Mukiele, am I going to play him? No, it's just that Wolves fixture I wanted for. You can just rotten the bench up until that. Anyway, Ronaldo, is he going to be back for? Let's go back to Sunderland here for a sec, just to try and sort out my defence. He's going to be back. When is he back for? September or October 25th. Is that the Wolves game, or he's missing the Wolves game? 7. Okay, so he misses the Wolves game. That's fine. That's why we're going Mukiele. So, okay. Then Gabriel Senesi is locked. Esteve is fine just because of the bench boost. I could probably even upgrade Esteve if I wanted to not go have double Burnley, but I think I do. Looking at those fixtures, yeah, I think I do. West Ham, Brentford, fine. Newcastle against Brighton isn't hectic there. This bench boost is a pain. It's going to mess up a few decisions that I probably should have had easily an easier decision if I bench boosted in game week 2. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're focused on a game week 8 one now. But right, I'm going to put back in Caicedo. For the bench boost. So it's going to be a bench boost of Dubravka, Esteve, Mukiele, Caicedo. Fair enough. Game week 8, who have Arsenal? Fulham. Okay, fair. Anyway, right, back to this. 6.7 in the bank for a defender, and that pretty much sets me up then. Leo, if you're watching, apologies. I just see the wedding chat there. He kindly helped me with my team before he threw me out. Apologies, Leo. Anderson, Lacroix this week. This week, Anderson, fair enough. Lacroix probably long term. I'll be going Lacroix, yeah. And Wemo or Bruno for a wildcard. Bruno with the captaincy in mind next week. I still have Gakpo. Should I play him or Dewsbury Hall? Play Gakpo this week. His minutes should be fairly secure with Ekatike suspended. Doku, where are you gone there? Doku, King or Reinders, Gravenberch over Caicedo. Don't be getting sucked into Gravenberch after his haul last week. Don't be doing that. I'd leave it on Caicedo. Thanks, mate. Can't take myself to bring Sal out. Alex, very, very fair. Mike, lads at word upgrading stats up to Caicedo, even though my midfield is the same as yours. If you're bench boosting, yes. If not, get Statch in. Even get Josh King in and save yourself an extra 0.5. The only reason I have Caicedo in is because of the bench boost in mind. And then I can offload him. Anderson, Lacroix. I have Mateta. Still go Lacroix. Two Curist, I've Hey Mate, what's up? And Dyer Kudos, which one is good? I'm using my wildcard, and Califiori and Timber both are in my team. Is that good? Or if you have any suggestions you can give me. Gabriel is more secured of minutes, but if you want to double up, it's more expensive. But it's 0.4 more expensive. I prefer Raya and Gabriel than Timber and Califiori. Raya, you're getting a start every week. Gabriel is more nailed than Califiori and Timber. So that's what I'll be leaning towards there. Matan, Vicario, Van Dijk, Chalaba, Romero, Reinders, Semenyo, Ndai, Kudos, Isaac, Pedro, Haaland, triple captain. Matan looks good there. Arsenal defenders are not a good shout this week, especially not to Matan. Let's see. They're one of the best defences in the league. I think they'll be alright. Donnarumma or Raya this week. Raya. Or Donnarumma or Raya long term. I still go Raya. Donnarumma this week, long term Raya. On wildcard, should I keep all three, Vardiol, Van Dijk and Gabriel, or take out one of them? Van Dijk and Gabriel is fine. Maybe offload Vardiol. Just have to decide now on my last defensive spot where I'm going to go with that. But I'm fairly happy with this so far. Right then. I'm saying that I'm struggling to find an alternative, but doesn't mean I'm going to fork out 9 million on the guy who plays Reacher, who can barely kick a ball. Foden plus Bowen so far versus Ndiaye and Gyökeres, it seems. Ndiaye and Gyökeres. That's what I'll be going for. A lot of ones coming in there. I consider any Liverpool attackers for the wild card. I've none. FPL, what change would you make to this? Lead Liverpool attacker in there, so keep an Isak for now. Raya, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Guehi, Anderson, Anthony, Ndiaye, Foden, Semenyo, Reinders, Isak, João Pedro, Haaland. Nice team. Thoughts on this wildcard? Pope, Dubravka, Van de Ven, Guehi, Senesi, Esteve, Digne, Reinders, Anthony, Bruno, Semenyo, Gravenberch, Haaland, Isak, Gyökeres. Get Digne out of there. Did what you said, FPL. Updated the team now. Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Ekdal, Reinders, Stach, Bruno, Semenyo, Grealish, Haaland, Gyökeres, JP. Looks good. The bench boost used already. Right, good stuff. Am I looking okay? My wild card: Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, Senesi, Esteve, Anderson, Virgil, Semenyo, Ndiaye, Reinders, Bruno, Stach, João Pedro, Haaland, Richarlison, Prob, Lakin, an Arsenal attacker. What time do you share your team for the game week? I'll have it in 10-15 minutes before. Streaming. Right, let's get back to this then. Paul in the chat then as well. Appreciate that, Paul, who's just become a member of the channel. Paul, that is great to see. Really do appreciate that, man. Thank you for that. Shout out to Paul there. Great to see Paul on this Saturday morning. If you want to be like Paul, go down there into the description, and there's a few tiers if you want to become a member of the channel. Big thank you for that, Paul. Fair play to you. Sal and Elise, what about Palmer to Bruno Fernandes for -4? Not sure about Sarah from Spurs will play us, so I'm willing to put Bruno in for -4. I'll triple captain Haaland 2. What about Palmer to Bruno for -4? Go for that if you're captain in next week. Just you've reminded me on Sarah of Crystal Palace. Who does Sarah have in game week 8? At home to Bournemouth. We're forgetting about Sarah of Crystal Palace. He's back this week, 6-4. Fixtures aren't hectic though, so maybe we forget about him. Yeah, they're not great. Never mind. Keep that in mind though. Sarah is back. I thought he would have had a decent fixture in game week 8, but he doesn't, so that's all good. Right, let's get back that down there. So that's all good. You can see that. Grand, nice one. Back to the chat then. Yes, lad, love your content. Let's go. Appreciate that, Paul. And William, as always, in the chat. William, appreciate that, man, for always tuning in. Good stuff. Should I keep Tarkowski? I would keep Tarkowski. Yeah, Wolves at home. I'm even considering him on the wild card this week. If anyone's joining late, bench boost in game week 8, Dubravka, Steve, Mukulele, Caicedo, and someone else now who I'm gonna finish off with. But it's just saving the money is how we're going. Captain this week, Keith, has to be Haaland. Triple captain Haaland this week. Thought I need the points sorted, go for it. If I wasn't wildcarding, I'd be triple captain him this week. Tarkowski is him who Sam, maybe. I'm wildcard. Should I keep all 3, Vardiel and Van Dijk? I would. What about, yeah, we did that one already. Should I keep Tarkowski? I probably would, to be honest with you. I'm considering him. It's going to be either him or Van Dijk. So let's see where we do end up on. Right then, what are we saying here? Triple captain active. Fair enough. Dewsbury Hall. Interesting, okay. A lot of people doubling up on the Spurs defense. Interesting, okay. No Tarkowski, maybe I do Van Dijk as my last defender. Alderete, why are people going for him? Let me have a look at Alderete. Maybe because he's a wing back. Or where is he? Wow, okay. Minutes played, 37 assists. Maybe that's why they're going for him. Def Conan, 10, 11, 13. Wow. Okay. Don't know much about him. I know. Let me have a look at all the red. Who would have thought one of the main decisions is which Sunderland defender I'm going to bring in on my wildcard. Right then, Alderete. Omer Alderete, grand matches. So he is the centre back. Okay, Mukulele is the centre back as well. So who? Okay, I'm gonna keep Mukulele for now. If I do Palmer to Bruno and Sarah's going on first sub, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But Palmer to Bruno is fine, especially considering the captain next week on Bruno. So just go for that. What else are we saying? Start Gehi or take a -4 for Isaac. Start Gehi. I can probably see Isaac getting 1, maybe not 2. And if Gehi gets the DEFCON, you're good to go. So I wouldn't do that for a hit. Jack over Caicedo, worth it. Caicedo, the fixtures. Right, Paul, we're prioritising you, good man. I've gone Richarlison and Kudos over Caicedo and Gyökeres. Is that silly? Surely Richie gets a decent run up front over the next few game weeks. I think he will. But if you're going to bench, if you're starting Caicedo every week, I'd probably prefer Richarlison and Kudos. Double Spurs attack though, not ideal. But they are doing well, to be fair. But I wouldn't be that gone on a Spurs double attack. If you're starting Caicedo every week, I'd go with Richarlison over Kudos, because then you're more dependent on Gyökeres for returns, attacking returns anyway. Caicedo might only rack up a few DEFCON. But if you're playing Gyökeres and you have the bench boost in mind, Caicedo's fine. But Richarlison and Kudos is grand. If you're on the wildcard, Paul, let us know. But I'd be looking at Richarlison and Kudos if you have to start them over Caicedo and Gyökeres. Or surely you can go Richarlison and someone else better, like Semenya. How much of you, Paul, if you go for Richarlison and whatever's left? Maybe I'll go that route. As long as you have an Arsenal attacker. If you are on wildcard, as long as you have an Arsenal attacker. And if you're not on wildcard, that's fine. But if you are on wildcard, make sure you have an Arsenal attacker with those fixtures. If you don't have Gyökeres, make sure you have a Saka. Okay, good stuff. Do let us know, Paul, good man, and we'll get back to you. If you are on wildcard, or is it just transfers you're making? But I'm assuming you're going to be on wildcard. Yeah, you're on wildcard. Caicedo and Gyökeres. So if you're bench boosting in game week 8, same as me, Gyökeres this week, Caicedo on the bench up until 8, and you can even have him in game week 9 for the Sunderland game. Might have a few benching headaches there, but sure, look, we'll get over that bridge when we come across it. But yeah, Gyökeres and Caicedo, play Gyökeres, Caicedo on the bench, and then I'm assuming you're going to have pretty much the same midfield then as me. If that's all right, do let us know, and then I think you're all good on that. Right, 58 minutes to go. We've a lot to lock in this week. I'm just going to send a picture to my Patreon here just to let them know how we're going. Grand. Get this sent in, and I'll keep going back to this while we're here. This is the first day Nottingham Forest gets their clean sheet, maybe. Who are Forest playing? It's mad. Once you get out of the team, you forget about them. Just on stream here. $6.7 minutes in the bank. Bench boost 8 with Dubrav, Muke, Esteve, and Caicedo. Right, Emma O'Farrell, who's just joined the Patreon. Let's get back to you, Emma, here. How does this look, please? Raya, Virgil, Gabriel, Senesi, Reinders, Bruno, Ndai, Semenyo, Richarlison, João Pedro, Haaland, Dubravka, Kudos, Anderson. You bench boost 8, Emma. Right, let's get back here then. Lyle Foster, Strand Larson, assuming I'm benching them this week. When are you going to play either is the next question though. Lyle Foster or Strand Larson. Probably prefer Strand Larson. Anthony's probably the lad for Burnley you want in the team then, but I know you're paying the extra bit for Strand Larson. But make sure if you are having them, make sure you do start them if you're paying an extra bit for Strand Larson. Hannah, hope you're keeping well, Hannah. Donnarumma, Dubravka, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Romero, Senesi, Alderete, Bruno, Semenyo, Ndai, Reinders, Stacey, Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres. Who would you bench or change with 0.7 in the bank? Donnarumma's grand, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Romero, Senesi, Alderete, Bruno, that defence is fine. Bruno, Semenyo, Ndai, Reinders is all good. Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres. All depends if you're bench boosting then, Hannah. Again, do you want Stacey on the bench boost? Can you get up to, how much even is Stacey? Is he 4.5? Maybe you can only get to the likes of a Statch. Let me just see how much Stacey is. Or maybe I'm assuming it's Statch. That's what it is. I was thinking who is Stacey, but I'm assuming that is Statch. If you can even get to 5.7, you have enough for Caicedo then if you're bench boosting. Pretty much same team as me then. So go for that. Of course Stacey is Statch. You can get to Caicedo then 5.6, 5.7, and then there's your bench boost pretty much sorted there. Starter 1890, should I go cheap on bench and use my wildcard if I've already used my bench boost? Yeah, I know I still have to use my bench boost. It's going to be a cheap bench boost, but Dubravka, Mukiele, Esteve, Caicedo, they're all playing. They have decent fixtures as well that week. Sunderland against Wolves, Burnley against Leeds, and Caicedo away to Nottingham Forest. Why not consider the Spurs lads? I Van de Ven if I have to. It's just defensive wise, I don't think I'll be going there. I prefer Ndai on penalties then as well. I prefer the front three there, to be honest with you. Can I get Salah? I don't think I can. I tried that already, didn't I? 6.7 in the bank. If I went Salah, let me see now. If I went Salah, no, I don't think I can. Definitely not. Salah 6.8. No, I can't go that way. Fair enough. Right. So restore him, and then Caicedo. I always had kind of Caicedo in my head anyway. When I was making my team last week, I was sucked into the Statch, or sorry, the Statch buds, or the Statch hype. The only thing is now with the defense, am I a bit short? The thing about Senesi though, he's going to get twos every week, or what he has done every week. If I go Van Dijk in just for the DEFCON, Virgil, isn't it? 6.1 of 0.6. Then at least then I've the guts of a strong team. Then Van Dijk, Gabriel in defence, Raya, Semenyo and Ndai, Reinders, Bruno, Caicedo, João Pedro, Haaland, Gyökeres. Nothing too shabby about that. Right, what else are we saying there? 53 minutes to go until the deadline. Good stuff. 77 in the chat. We're nearly on 40 likes. If you wouldn't mind going down there, giving the stream a like, and we're so close to hitting we're so close to hitting 8k subs. We're 71 off hitting 8k. If we've 70 people in the chat that aren't subscribed, if you wouldn't mind, go down there, giving the channel a subscription. It's free to do. It would honestly be so good to hit 8k subs, but that's completely up to you. Starter, should I go cheap my bench boost? Yeah, I would should I go cheap my wildcard if I've used the bench boost? Yeah. Just with the Spurs lads then, Sam, I just can't fit them in. I can't. Semenyo and Ndai, Reinders, Bruno, and if I go with a good Spurs defender, or Spurs midfielder, I'm just giving myself a headache every week, so that's why I can't go that route. Tarkowski or Senesi on a wildcard, both, Connor. Senesi definitely. Tarkowski if you can. I could probably upgrade. Well, no, I can't now if I go Van Dijk. 4-6. No, for now I'm going to leave it like that. But we will be back on that. Let's try and get this sorted anyhow. Can I send you my team to help my benching dilemma? Pupos, send it in on the chat. We will get back to in the chat, don't worry, send it in. Do you plan on using Caicedo? I'm on the same point. Do I just stick with Statch? True, I'm a waste of money on Caicedo, maybe. That's a good shout there. If I'm looking at Chelsea's fixtures from game week 9, maybe I just have the Sunderland in my head, Sunderland game in my head too much. Game week 9, let's say when Chelsea have Sunderland, who am I going to bench out of those during the week? And I'm going to play him. Semenyo, I'm going to play him. It all depends who I get for Bruno. Maybe I'm giving myself too much of a benching headache then. Or do I just let him rot away on the bench? I just hope he does well in game week 8. That could be a mistake also. If I go for a Statch, that's 0.6 saved. Can I still get Tarkowski in then? But I don't want to bench Tarkowski this week if I bring him in. I'm trying to give myself the less benching headaches, the better, to be honest with you, every week, because you don't want to bench a headache. It's nothing worse than seeing someone do well on your bench. Yeah, let's see on that. Want to get Spurs into my team, tempted by Richarlison over João Pedro for my attack. The only thing with João Pedro is the captaincy in game week 9 against Sunderland. Should I downgrade Tarkowski to either Guehi or Van de Ven to Ford Caicedo? It all depends when you're going to use Caicedo, Jack. If you're just going to use him on the bench boost, if you plan to use him on game week 9, which I might do, to be honest with you, who have City in game week 9, that's where I could bench Reinders and play a Caicedo. Aston Villa, maybe I do. Do we get to that dilemma when it comes around though? Yeah, you only trained for the first time today or yesterday, Call, but it's expected him to be fine, João Pedro. I'd expect him to start, especially with Palmer out. Also, it was his birthday yesterday. I don't know if many spotted that, but João Pedro's going to get a birthday return surely. Or do I go Vardy all over Van Dijk? Maybe. Or can just go Dewsbury Hall, but I don't want double Everton. Yeah, a lot of people asked about the Spurs lads. Just can't fit them in, Husam. Just can't fit them in. Is Foden a good shout this week? Starter, he is. If you can get to Bruno Fernandes next week, I would. But Foden's a good shout this week. It's probably a lad that I'd wanted to have in the team. Just can't get him in. Reinders is fine. Bruno Fernandes next week on the captaincy. I'm happy enough with that then as well. And to be honest with you, Foden has been a troll in the past to me. But I'm happy enough to just keep Reinders. Okay. Should I bench Papi's, Sarr or Juve? Sarr is pretty much injured, is he not? Juve has Everton at home, or Everton away on Monday night. Sarr, I don't think Sarr is going to play anyway. Did I see he wasn't fit? Maybe just play Juve. So Bapupos, current starting 11: Sells, Murillo, Lacroix, Munoz, Anderson, Tarkowski, Reinders, Semenyo, Haaland, João Pedro, Evan Nielsen. Current bench: Dubravka, Gakpo, King, Palmer. Sells is alright. Is he going to get his first clean sheet? He was saying that. How much am I in the bank with my current team? Sakib, 6.1 for Van Dijk leaves me 0.7 in the bank. Or 0.6 in the bank, is it? 0.6 in the bank. That midfield is fine. Semenyo and Dai, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, and then can worry about Liverpool players in 2 weeks' time once I get rid of Bruno Fernandes. Or maybe I keep Bruno Fernandes long term. But for now, let's see. Shout out to Jordy, my girlfriend. She said it's all going. The stream looks good, so the Wi-Fi must be decent. Good stuff, Jordy. She just got her knee operation during the week, so she's watching from the bed there then as well. Good woman, Jordy. Shout out to the girlfriend there on stream. Good stuff. Going back to the Liverpool attackers though, I'm happy enough to have them on a way out of my team for the next 2 or 3 weeks anyway. I can bring them in, as I said, once I get Bruno out, maybe after the Sunderland game. Who have United in game week 9? Brighton at home. We'll see. For now, I'm not. Obviously, Salah going against Salah is obviously a big risk in itself, but I'm happy enough to leave him out of the team for now, and we'll reassess in a couple of weeks' time. Van Dijk is locked. Sophie, he's not locked yet. I just have him in as a placeholder there. He's definitely not locked. Would I make any changes to Raya, Chalobah, Van de Ven, Senesi, Kudos, Salah, Reinders, Semenyo, Dewsbury Hall, Haaland, João Pedro? That's a nice Haaland and Salah team. So not much else you can do. Good stuff, right? Eddie, if anyone wants a Salah Haaland team, Raya, Chalobah, Van de Ven, Senesi, Kudos, Salah, Reinders, Semenyo, Dewsbury Hall, Haaland, João Pedro, Dubravka, Muniz, Esteve, Richards gets you Haaland and Salah there. Maybe I should be going Salah on the basis of that team, but I want Bruno Fernandes, I want an Ndai. It's all little things that add up over a Salah. So maybe I'm happy enough to go against him. I fancy Richarlison against West Ham, not fancying Arsenal away at Newcastle. Was planning on getting an Arsenal attacker in next game week. Would you advise them to get it in now? If so, who do I sacrifice? Also, just senior changes. Should I swap out Anderson or out for Muke and Stash out for Caicedo? Gone Anderson to Muke, which give me 3.1 in the bank to get Saka, Gyökeres or Isak in 2 moves. Looks good. I'd just go Arsenal attack now to have them and save the moves. Right, is that alright, Jay? Raya, Dubravka, Hussam, sending the rest there. On a wild card, would you have Statch and Ndai or Kudos and Dewsbury Hall? I'm assuming you're benching the Statch and Dewsbury Hall every week. Out of Ndai and Kudos, I prefer Ndai, so I'll be saying that. Better but very poor bench, 0.2 in the bank. Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Caicedo, Semenyo, Salah, Reinders, Ndai, João Pedro, Haaland. That's a nice. Are you bench boosting? That's a nice Salah and Haaland team there if you've already played your bench boost. Donnarumma, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Senesi, Caicedo, Semenyo, Salah, Reinders, and Ndai, João Pedro and Haaland. Absolutely nothing wrong with that if you played your bench boost already. Conor Ryan, any consideration for a City defender? Probably Vardiol at his price point, 5.8. You can obviously go Donnarumma if you want, but I prefer Raya. Rob in the chat, man, Rob. Am I the only one that doesn't think Sunderland are that bad? They're ahead of United in the league and haven't shipped a lot of goals. That's why I've got Ukulele there for my bench boost in Game Week 8, Rob, trying to save a bit of money. But I had Aston Villa in my last one standing last week, and I thought it was true when they were down to 10 men, but it shows Sunderland are actually pretty decent. But yeah, that's why I've gone Ukulele, just looking at that Wolves fixture, and it saves me a bit of money then as well. I'm only going to play him, and at least with Senesi, Van Dijk and Gabriel, that's a core back three there as well, so I don't have to worry about too many defensive issues there. Gabriel is fine. Senesi is getting DEFCON every week, so he can take away at that even if they concede. And then Virgil is Virgil. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. White Guy, Sado, Joseph, just a bench boost in Game Week 8. And I don't want to spend too much. If I just go Statch either, I'm saving 1.2. But that's a very weakish bench boost then. Not really considering the fixtures, but let's see. I'm gonna leave Caicedo in there. I think he was in my mind all week, so I think I'm gonna save him in the team there then as well. A few new subs there, really do appreciate it. We've just hit 7,930. We're 70 subs off hitting 8k. We're very, very close to hitting 8k. We've got 79 in the chat. If you haven't subscribed already, if you wouldn't mind heading on down there, please click and subscribe on the channel. That'd be very, very much appreciated. We're so close to hitting 8k subs, and I do mean it when I say it. I really do appreciate all your support, tuning in every week, engaging in the stream. It's great to see. So the girl from missed the stream. She was on the phone. Just out to you and the knee. we'll say it again to her. Shout out to Jordy there, who's watching at home in bed. She just got her knee operation there, so I hope she's keeping well. She missed the shout out. Right, why Caicedo? Just because of the bench boost. His fixture in game week 9 against Sunderland also. That's why he's in there. We'll worry about the bench and headache closer to that game week 8, game week 9. A lot can happen in between those weeks also. I'm going to move the mic to myself. Maybe I'm just chatting low myself. Hopefully that's a bit better. It was a bit away on the table there. Maybe I was leaned away from it, but thanks for that, Sheldon. Let me know if that's alright. It should be alright. Maybe it's just my low voice in general. Fishing and Fal, good to see you, mate. Thoughts on Enzo with Palmer being out. I've wildcarded this week. Nothing wrong with Enzo. It's just a price point on Enzo at 6-7. In around that much. I don't think I'd want to pay that much if you're not playing him every week. You probably will. With João Pedro, I think they will give him the penalty. That Fulham game, João Pedro was meant to take the penalty, and Enzo was getting a bit of grief off the crowd. And from what I saw, João Pedro had the ball and then he went over and gave it to Enzo. So it seems there's a bit of uncertainty who the penalty taker is actually for Chelsea yet. I think João Pedro is still first choice. And with the fact Pedro is up against Brighton, his old team, and with the fact he's up against, it was his birthday yesterday, I think surely he gets the penalty this week. Or maybe it might be Enzo, who knows. That's my theory on the Chelsea penalty takers, but let's see. We've 40 minutes to go. Plenty yet to lock in then as well. I'm going to move this mic again. Hopefully it doesn't fall, but do let us know if that's alright. It was a bit away from the table, so it should be a bit better now. But this is what I'm looking like. Maybe if I make them transfers now, or no, if I make them transfer now and I want Van de Ven back, I won't in case I do want him. But do I want Van de Ven instead of Mukulele in game week 8? Spurs have Villa, don't they? Yeah, at home to Villa, so maybe not for a bench boost that week. Spurs against Leeds, maybe I might regret taking out Van de Ven on that one, especially with Leeds and Wolves over the next two. But a lot to ponder on that. Anyway, we're getting there. Would you take out Wood or Watkins to get João Pedro in? Calig, definitely. Is Saka a good pick in the wild card? He definitely is. It's just if you want to go Gyökeres or Saka, we all know Saka is how he's suited to the Premier League. Gyökeres, he is going to be on penalties at least, so that might sway you towards Gyökeres. And the thing with Saka, with Madueke out, he's always first choice Saka. And with Madueke out, you'd expect Saka to come into that team. Of course he come into the team, but you expect him to be playing 80-90 minutes pretty much every week now for the foreseeable future with Saka. With Gyökeres, he's a 70-75 minute man every week on penalties. That's why I'm going towards him. Triple captain Semenyo, Mohamed, get it on Haaland. Triple captain Semenyo, I wouldn't do that, to be honest with you. Captain maybe, but it's a bit of a risk going against Haaland this week. Sorry, not a bit of a massive risk, because he's going to be over 200% effective ownership this week. So I wouldn't go against Haaland. Salt Knight, Raya, Dubravka, Senesi, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Anderson, Guehi, Semenyo, Ndai, Kudos, Bruno, Reinders, Gyökeres, Pedro, Haaland. With Gyökeres on the bench, if you're benching Gyökeres, there's no point having him this week, to be honest with you. I wouldn't bench him at that price point. Fair enough, I understand that Newcastle away, he is on penalties. I keep saying you have to start him. You have to start him this week. Please share your team for game week 6. There it is there. On screen, 3-4-3, Caicedo on the bench as of now, and Gabriel, Virgil and Senesi as my back three. Thoughts on double Forest midfield? No, one of them is bad enough, never mind two. I wouldn't be going double Forest with the form they're in at the moment, and especially with Europe then as well. They've already a bare enough squad as is, so I definitely wouldn't be looking towards that. Definitely not. Good stuff. We're nearly on 50 likes then as well, and we've got a few new subs there then as well, which is great to see. Let's keep getting this pushed out there if we can at all. Do keep sending your questions then. We've plenty to discuss over the next 27 minutes or so. Right then, let's see what else we saying in the Patreon then as well. Raya or Dubravka, Raya or Donnarumma. I think I'll be going for Raya, like myself. Good Good stuff. Is Bruno a better option for transfer this week, or Foden Reinders if I'm on wildcard next week? Bruno better option for if you're wildcarding next week. Go with the City lads next week or this week. Sorry, get them in. And then yeah, you want Bruno captain next week, so get Bruno in. At least have Bruno in. But if you're wildcarding next week, have the City lads this week. Get the Burnley game out of that, and then see where you're going from there. Bapupos sells Murillo, Lacroix, Munoz, Anderson, Tarkowski, Reiner, Semenyo, Haaland, Joe Pedro, Evan Nielsen. Current bench: Dubravka, Gakpo, King, Palmer. Get Palmer out. I understand why you're having him with the Sunderland game in Game Week 9, if he's even going to be back for that at all. He should be 2 to 3 weeks out. It should be enough for him, but I wouldn't be having Palmer. You're at least you can get him if you need him, but I wouldn't get him in now, especially if you're benching him for the next couple of weeks. Triple captain Semenyo. No, we were saying that already. Bench Simmons, Watkins or Rodgers. Transfer out Watkins and Rodgers, never mind bench them. But if you have to bench some of them, I'll be playing Simmons. Watkins just looks off at the moment. Even when he was taking that penalty, you could see he was going to miss. Funny enough, I saw TikTok the day before. I think he scored 5 and missed 6. It must be scored 5, missed 7 now of all the penalties in his career. I don't know if it was even right, but his penalty form is absolutely shocking. So that's not great at all there. I'm looking at a bench boost. If I go, who do Crystal Palace have in Game Week 8? Or do I change Van Dijk to Tarkowski? Just because of his DEFCON. Let's go Tarkowski here. 1.2. And Everton are going to get stronger in defence with Brantwaite coming back in there. Someone was asking the Patreon earlier, why not go Michael Keane for $1 million cheaper over Tarkowski. Brantwaite is going to be coming back into that defence. Game Week 8, Palace have Bournemouth. I'm happy enough with Ukulele there, to be honest with you. I'm still saving money with Tarkowski though. It's just me set up with the team then. Everton, West Ham is fine. Let's get him up here. Crystal Palace at home isn't ideal. City, Spurs. Is that why I need? That's the worst thing about the worst thing about the bench boost is then I can't rotate. In Game Week 7, Palace have Everton, fair enough. I'm not going to play him then. Spurs, he has tough fixtures, but he's getting DEFCON. Maybe that's all I need though. DEFCON over the weeks, as I am saying. I need to go back on what I was saying earlier. DEFCON every couple of weeks. 3-8, 3-8, 3. That's probably what you want at that price anyway. 3-8, 3-8 or 4-8, 3-8, 3. Van Dijk here now. What are we saying? 4-8, 3-8, 3, and then Van Dijk is getting 3-3-8, 8-4. Maybe I just go with Van Dijk over Tarkowski. And then the bench boost is pretty much sorted then as well. That's the worst thing about building a wildcard team with a bench boost, but look, we can worry about that later on in the season. But that's what we're. Oh, of course, I've pressed that now, and the team is gone. Lovely. Window capture. Let's get that back up. Right, let me sort this on stream. I shouldn't have put that up there. Bang. X out of this one and get it back up. That's my own fault for touching it. Are we back up yet there? Lovely. Now we're back with it. Right. I can't go back into that one. So, right then. Anyway. So, and then I need to go back here. This is going to ruin my moves now. So let's go back and do my moves. So bear with me 1 second. Van there. Caicedo is going back. This is the joys of live streaming, but it's grand. Muke and Virgil. Hopefully you can see this now while I'm doing it. Are we showing? Lovely, yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So we're back with that. 0.6 in the bank. So let's see. Right. Vardiol or Virgil? Probably Virgil on with the DEFCON, to be honest with you. Salah, Timber, Foster, or Gabriel, João Pedro, Bruno. Third one pretty much speaks for itself there, doesn't it? Yeah, with Liverpool, it doesn't scream clean sheet potentials, but it's with Van Dijk. He's getting the DEFCON, so maybe I'm going to keep him in there. Might be a mistake, but let's see how we go. Right, 31 minutes to go. How are we on the sub count? Appreciate that. A couple of subs there. If you are watching, we've about 80 watching us at the moment. If you want to go down there, please click subscribe. That'd be very, very much appreciated. We're so close to hitting 8k subs. I keep saying it. I know I do apologise for sounding like a broken record, but I just have to keep pushing out the channel while I am. If you are new, I'm ranked 1.7 million overall. I've got some good ranks over the year then as well. I'm going to shut up about promoting myself then. One top 9k, two top 11s, two top, or was it one? What do we hear? We have it on our Instagram. Sorry, one top 11, two top 16ks. So if that doesn't deserve a subscribe, fair enough. Can't do much more. Tarkowski or Vardiol? Probably Tarkowski, just about, and that's saying as someone who's my doppelganger in Vardiol, so maybe just him. John Hurley, thoughts on my team: Raya, Van Dijk, Van de Ven, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Reinders, Kudos, Ndai, Haaland, Gyökeres, Subs, Dubravka, Thiago, Timber, Guehi. A lot of money on the bench there, John. If you're bench boosting, fair enough, but if you're not bench boosting, I'd probably downgrade the likes of Thiago to a Munoz, save yourself 0.5, 0.6 there. Stature, Anderson, probably Stature. You're not going to play them every week. That being said, with Statch, he's only a one or two goal man every year. He's already got one, so maybe that's his luck got out on the attacking front. What's your thoughts on Foden? He's a good shout this week. If you're getting Foden for a punt, nothing wrong with that, as long as you go with Bruno Fernandes next week for the Sunderland game. This week going to be so interesting. So many triple captains and wildcards being played. Not a lot of teams with non-template players also have good fixtures. Kudos, Anderson, Villa players, etc. Yeah, a lot of punts then as well with Foden and Think Fair. Best Watkins are players and only own Haaland, João Pedro. Get João Pedro in. You're going to be captain him in game week 9 over the likes of a Gyökeres. So get João Pedro in as a priority. 50 likes there on stream, appreciate that. Polish Fair 63. What are you saying? 63. Why not Ekdal over Esteve? He has more DEFCON overall per 90. Good shout. Let me have a look at Ekdal. So Ekdal. Let's see here. 11, 5, 12, 10, 11, 8. 5, 10, 11, 12, 8. See, Esteve has been on. Esteve has been very close on a lot of occasions then as well. 8, 7, 8, 15, 11. 8, 7, 8, 15, 11. And you're probably looking at that Sunderland game. Maybe does it, or even the Leeds game? Does it suit an Ekdal more? He got 14 in that one. Ekdal over Esteve. Defenders. To be honest with you, with 0.6 in the bank, I can probably go with any defender I want in game week 8. So maybe I should go away from a double Burnley defence, but I already have Sunderland. The fixtures aren't shouting clean sheet potential, not clean sheet potential. If Dan Burn had the likes of a home fixture, but he does on the way to Brighton, I don't fancy Newcastle away to Brighton. Even if Richards had a decent shout, but he's against Bournemouth at home, so I'll ignore that. Let's get the Burnley lads. Who would have thought the main dilemma is deciding on a Burnley and a Sunderland defender for my bench boost. Never mind about Walker, Twanzebe, Fair, Ekdal, just about. 2-4-3. Wow. So Graham Potter has been sacked. Is that right? Is that true? We've nearly got 100 in the chat then as well, which is great to see. Appreciate all the new subs this morning then as well. We're just about to hit 100 live viewers, so appreciate that. Sorry about that, made us spill coffee over my computer. All good. Hope the computer's okay. Polish fair. Good stuff. Hopefully that wasn't my fault for spilling the coffee. All good there. Samia and Foden and Dye would upgrade in defence. Foden and Dye. Foden this week. If you can get the Bruno Fernandes for Foden next week, go for that. Please just join in. What's your starting 11 from this 15? Virgil, Senesi, Gabriel and Caicedo. Virgil, Senesi, Gabriel, my back three, and then Caicedo benched. 3-4-3. That's what we're going for. Right then, let's go. Keep going. Long-term replacement for Palmer, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes there, has to be Bruno. Right, going back to what we were looking at there. Ekdal or Esteve. Let's get that up there. What were we saying? Esteve. 4-4-6-1. To be fair, yeah, he just minutes played. Ekdal, is he getting 90 every week? 90, 82, 90, 90. 8, 11, 10, 12, 5. 8 against Forest last week. Esteve got 14, was it, last week? $11, 15, 8, 7, 8. See, Esteve has been very close on every occasion, so I'm going to keep him in there just on the rate of that. I'm going to keep him there, to be honest with you, yeah. On a wildcard, should I downgrade Richardson, Mukulele or Rode on an upgrade stats to one of Caicedo, Anthony from Burnley or Anderson? On a wildcard, yeah, Potter has just been sacked, so that's right. Should I downgrade Richardson? If you're bench boosting, yeah, get Mukulele in for that fixture. I'm going to stick with Statch, have 3 free transfers, skip on the Caicedo pick on my wildcard. Nothing wrong with that, Mike, at all. Right, 25 minutes to go, 24 minutes to go now. Potter is gone, alright, wow. Could do Statch to zoom in. York for Richarlison or Bruno midfield for Saka. No, keep as is. Potter gone, yeah. Bench and Die, Kudus, Gyökeres or Ryan there's out of those. Maybe Gyökeres, but I wouldn't be giving yourself a bench and headache with that. I think so. Move Anderson to Mukulele with his game week. Very unsure on who to bench here. Raya, Gabriel, Virgil, Senesi, Semenyo, all good there. Stuck on this, currently unsure on Foden long term, which is why I'm looking to take him out. Good to see you're watching the stream, man. Appreciate that. S in the Patreon. You want... Yeah, we're all starting Raya. New West Ham manager. Is Mourinho hardly going to come back? He said that he'd come back to a team outside the top 6, maybe. Abdullah rumours that Wood could be benched and Michelenkovic no move after he got out the latest match, so kind of wondering if it's worth it. The fixtures are definitely there anyway. The fixtures are there anyway. Just need to hope they start. Is a small risk though. On a wild card, Strand Larson, Saka, Dewsbury Hall or Gyökeres and Dye and Statch. Gyökeres and Dye and Statch. That's what I'm saying there. How come you're getting rid of Anderson? Save some money. Won't be playing him. Over. Right, they're flying in on the Patreon now. 21 minutes to go. A few new subs there. Really do appreciate that, lads and ladies. Stature Anderson, Statch. If you're only looking at a bench boost, which game week you use in bench boost? Game week 8, Daniel. So that'll give me double burn to defence, Caicedo and a Mukulele for the bench boost in game week 8. Not ideal, but Caicedo's fine. Maybe even an Ndai could be on the bench in that retrospect, but it's not a bad bench boost at all. Just heavily reliant on a clean sheet for Burnley in that gaming. So we'll see how we go. Very well doable. Let's just see if we do get it. Why did I change my team, sir? We're on Wildcard. Of course, we're going to be chopping and changing before the deadline. So don't worry on that. I still haven't made up my mind. I might even go with this team yet. We still have it here, don't we? Yeah, it's still up there. You can still see that. But that's what we're looking like as of now. Only reason I'm not going to lock it in then just yet is if I want a Spurs player before the deadline. But for now, I'm content on having Van Dijk just with his DEFCON, and probably just a better shout than Tarkowski, especially with his attacking threat from corners. We might get an extra couple of points from him on that retrospect. But right, good stuff, all good there. Potter sacked, yeah, he's gone. Is it worth using my free hit to go Mateta? No, not for your free hit. No, definitely not this week. Don't use a free hit on that. Are you doing any more transfers? I've got no volume. Can someone let me know, Ross? Maybe I might make one more defensive transfer, but that's what we're looking like for now. Bench one of Gabriel, Senesi, Van de Ven, Tarkowski or Gakpo, Ryan Gold. Bench one of those. Maybe just Van de Ven. I think you have to play Gakpo, but maybe just those. Right, 19 minutes to go. 84 in the chat, which is great to see on this wildcard morning. Really do appreciate everyone tuning in this morning and taking their time out of their day to watch me today. Really do appreciate that. Can't afford Gyökeres. What replacement do you recommend for 8.8 million? Column Richarlison maybe, or just Richarlison, and use your money in midfield to get a Saka in midfield. That's what I'd be saying there. D-Boy bent Senesi. I wouldn't bench Senesi. He could easily get an attacking return today. I wouldn't bench him. Hardy, current 11. Raya, Van de Ven, Gabriel, Williams, Ndai, Kudos, Reinders, Semenyo, Salah, Richarlison, Wood. Get Wood out of the team. How's the team? Captaincy and bench boost advisable. If you're on wildcard, do not have Wood in the team. Get him out. That looks like a wildcard team, does it? No, you don't even have Haaland. You need to work towards getting Haaland there, Hardy. Get Haaland in there by going Salah and Wood maybe to Haaland, and then you already have Ndai, don't you? No, you don't. There you go. Haaland and Ndai, go for that. Pubble Skull, Mono, good man, Mono, Raya, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Senesi, Bruno, Semenyo, Reinders, Ndai, Haaland, Gyökeres, João Pedro, Dubravka, Starch, Richards and Rodon. Thoughts on my wildcard and my captain. Captain is obviously all good to go. Gyökeres, João Pedro, Haaland all good. Ndai, Reinders, Semenyo, Bruno all good. You're good to go. Public Skull, good man, Mono. Hope you're keeping well, man. As always, thanks for tuning in on the streams. Really do appreciate that, man. Is it worth using my free hit? No, don't do that. Bench Sarah, Strand Larson, probably Sarah. Eze, what about Eze? Do not go for Eze. Go for Saka over Eze. Eze isn't even guaranteed a start every week. We've just hit 100 viewers on stream there, which is great to see. Really do appreciate that tuning in. If you haven't done so, please do consider heading on down there, giving the stream a like first off, and hitting subscribe on the channel. We're so close to hitting 8k subs. We've a big last 17 minutes or so getting this locked in, so please do hit subscribe. I'm down in Waterford here. I have a wedding to go to right after this. I'm making sure I'm getting this stream done for the week that's in it, so if you wouldn't mind giving the love back, click and subscribe, I really would appreciate it. And thanks everyone so far for the support this morning. That's why I've brought me all my streaming equipment to do this stream, and I hope you appreciate that as well. But yeah, sound for that. Hope you're well, and best of luck for the week to you and everyone. Up the dubs, up Leitrim, never mind the dubs. I'm assuming you're voting for Jim Gavin, so Public Skull, good man. Xavi or Mbeumo, Bruno. Yeah, can you get him? Bruno or Xavi. Are you eyeing up any Liverpool attackers? No Liverpool. That's good. So, right, best free hit team. Probably not the week the free hit. Zafran, if you're going triple City, probably triple Bournemouth then as well with their fixture considering. Maybe one or two, maybe one at least one Arsenal defence just to ensure yourself against wildcarders. But triple City, triple Bournemouth. Whether that's going to Evan Nielsen up front then as well. You might want to go Richarlison as well if you're free hitting. Would you go any of those? Probably not. Maybe one or two Everton then as well. Tarkowski and a Grealish. I probably would prefer a Grealish on a free hit, to be honest with you there. Can get Bruno in as a 9 in the bank, but needs to have the cheaper defender 4.8 and other rather than Virgil out of Isak over Gyökeres. Who can I bring in this week for a punt, then move for Bruno next week? Foden. That's your punt this week. Appreciate your help on your streaming. All good, mate. All good. Has to be done. Right, bench Rodgers or Dewsbury Hall. Why do you have Caicedo and Ndai? Caicedo's going to drop to the bench, and I just have him in my team for the bench boost. Why not Vardiol? I know he's my doppelganger, but I prefer Van Dijk. Gabriel, Senesi and Van Dijk pretty much every week then as well is fine, especially with Senesi getting his DEFCON every week, so that's all good there too. Strand Larson, Saka and Dewsbury Hall or Gyökeres and Ndai and Statch. Gyökeres and Ndai and Statch. You need an Everton attacker. Van de Ven or Senesi, who to start? Senesi definitely against Leeds. He could easily get something from a set piece. So I'd be going for him. What else were we saying up above then as well? Dan Burn, a good pick. Michael, he definitely is. It's just his fixture this week isn't ideal. They are Newcastle. What are they? At least 4 clean sheets so far. So nothing wrong with going with him if you want to. But I'd be going the likes of a Tarkowski or Senesi over Dan Burn. When are you locking in? Probably in the next 10 minutes or so. We've time. It's only 14 minutes to go. So we've time. I can. Why Bruno over Mbeumo since Mbeumo? Bruno on pens. Right, good stuff. Calafiori or Diakite. Calafiori there, Adam, but I go Gabriel if you can. This is me, Alice Goodwoman, Raya, Senesi, Van de Ven, Gabriel and Ndai, Reinders, Bruno Semenyo, Gyökeres, João Pedro, Haaland. Good to go. Should I make these transfers or stick as I am? Caicedo, Tarkowski, Mukulele. I prefer the second one. In 8. Virgil. Could get Bruno over Saka. And then Virgil over Tark. Right, best 4-minute defender aside from your two. Ekdal of Burnley then as well, or Rodon. Good morning, Jonathan Mahoney. Hope you're keeping well. Bench 2, Semenyo, Gakpo, Gyökeres, Calafiori. Bench 2, wow, yeah, Calafiori and maybe Gakpo. Semenyo has to play. I think you have to play Gyökeres on the penalties then as well, so that's what I'll be saying. Who's your starting 11 then, bro? Jack, I think I'm going to lock it in the next minute or two, but Richards or Munoz in the fence. If you're on Wildcard, go at Richards, save yourself 0.9 or however much you're saving going Richards over Munoz. Will you be bringing Salah in after bench boost game week 8? I'll be looking towards getting Salah back in for game week 11, game week 12. I think it's game week 12, the Forest game. So getting him back in for that game week is what I'll be saying. What else have we there then as well? Will you be bringing Salah in? I will. Pape, Matt Hester was playing week in, week out, but also seemed to disappear the last 2 weeks. It's said to be precautionary, but I'm not sure on starting him. I wouldn't bother. Cool, thanks mate, that's how I had it. Good luck this week, appreciate that man, same to you. Right then, we're on 11 minutes to the deadline. So maybe do I just lock this in? Let me see on I just last decision is Tarkowski or Erling Haaland starts. That's the news there. All you want to know, Haaland is starting. Haaland starts. Confirm. All good there. So if you're using your triple captain, there you go. I think I'll find a set now. 2.1 million in the bank. Looks good. There. Virgil over. And maybe. There's only news you want there. Haaland is starting. Playing an 8. Fraser just the biggest problem this week. Fraser. Oh yeah, for that thing, yeah, that week fair looks good. What's your preference, Gabriel? Gab or Calafiori? Has to be Gab. Right then, let's see. Bench 1, Van de Ven, Gabriel and Gyökeres. Maybe Van de Ven. I'm gonna go all out with my double Arsenal defence. Right then, all good there. Virgil, yeah, the thing with Virgil, I can just play him every week. Caicedo or Gyökeres definitely this week, easily. Right, I think I'll just lock in my team here. Anderson, Bruno, Enzo, Kudos or Burn, and Wemo and Foden. Anderson, Bruno, and Ndai is what I'll be going for there. Even a Senesi, get Senesi over Anderson there is what I'll be going for. Right, good stuff. Bang, bang. Nice one, all good there. Cheers, mate. No bother at all. Do you think Chiesa could be benched? No, I don't think so. Especially with Ekatike out, Gakpo should be fine. Anderson, Bruno, and Enzo or Burn and Wemo and Foden. Burn and Wemo, Foden. Yeah, I'd be going that one. Yeah. Just if you can get Bruno, Burn, Foden. Yeah, I'd be going that. Dewsbury Hall or Statch. Much of a muchness really. Dewsbury Hall maybe on as attacking threat, but if you're bench boosting game week 8, Dewsbury Hall has City, so maybe not that week. Start Petrovic or Raya. 8 minutes to go. Right, let's get this. I think I'm content with that now. Let's make sure this is still shown. It is. So the grand confirm that Virgil, Caicedo, Mukiele. Look, I think that's a better long term move, and why hasn't that transfers done? They have. Wow. Whew. Jesus Christ. Right, so change him here, move him first. It's not an ideal bench boost, but it's a cheap bench boost that I think I can get away with in Game Week 8. But that's how we're looking. I might still change it yet, to be honest with you. I'm just going to send this into the Patreon just so they're all eyes on it. But Haaland is the captain. Right. Just going to send in this then. Last minute decision on Virgil versus Tarek. Currently Virgil. Right, back to this then on stream. 7 minutes to go. Someone in the chat there, Shay Buckley, Connor's brother. Haaland for the Iron Man, Shay, good man. Oh, they're watching the stream there. Shout out to Connor, who's getting married there. Good man, Connor. He's watching the stream, eating breakfast. Hope you're watching. Best of luck to Connor and Kira on their wedding day today. That's class. We'll see you later on, Connor. Appreciate that for tuning in. Hopefully Kira's not giving out to you on your wedding day watching that. Class. I'll text there. Love that. Shout out done for you. Nice one. good stuff. Any news on Foden starting? None, but Pep hinted that he's going to be starting, so he's worth the punt this week, so I'll be going for that. Start Petrovic or Raya. Actually just took a -8 even though I'm on Wildcard. Make sure you lock in your Wildcard. That's one thing people are doing their Wildcard and they haven't even pressed their Wildcard button. Make sure it's active. Make sure it's active. You can see there it's active there. Don't be taking unnecessary hits. If you're playing I'm going to send that in now. If you're playing your Wildcard in the other chat, if you're playing Wildcard, make sure it's active. Good stuff. Person on the stream only after. Right, Graham Potter just sacked. He is. Yeah. Any interest in triple captain this week? Can't use a triple captain because I'm on Wildcard. So that's what we're looking at there. So Haaland gets the armband, but he can't do the triple captain. Miley or King on Wildcard. I have used bench boost King, so King is more security of starts compared to Miley. Anyway, best of luck this week. Don't get too pissed at the wedding and you miss all the matches. I know, true. We'll be keeping a close eye on the matches anyway. But yeah, good man, Public School, I appreciate that. Or no, sorry, Polish Fair. And I hope the laptop's alright after spilling the coffee on it, good man. Thinking on going with Vardiol, but O'Reilly could be a short term punt for 0.9 million cheaper. We'll probably go Vardiol for the price and for the security and the peace of mind. I probably would just go Vardiol over O'Reilly. Pep roulette, you don't want to be wasting a transfer getting O'Reilly out of the team then as well. Right then, 4 minutes to go. Make sure everyone is happy in the Patreon there. Would it be worth getting in Grealish instead of Caicedo if you're bench boosting in 8? I wouldn't go Grealish. He can't play. If not, get him in. Right, good stuff. Not feeling very fair. Both are good shouts. Right. Vardiol, triple captain, Killian Hayes. We'll meet you later, Killian. I don't know who you are, but you're in the wedding chat anyway. Sorry, no, I didn't make the stag, but we'll be there later and hopefully cheering. Who even is the 3 o'clock games today? Early kickoff is United, of course. 5:30, a dirty game. Forest against Sunderland. No interest in that. Even Spurs against Wolves. Wow. So it's all the 3 o'clock games I need to keep an eye on. Grand, very good. Gyökeres are statched this week. Has to be Gyökeres at that price point. You're playing Gyökeres definitely on penalties then as well. Right then, good stuff. Before you do go, we've 3 minutes to go until the deadline. That's going to be my team there. We're still 73 in the chat. Please, if you wouldn't mind heading on down there, click and subscribe on the channel. We're very close to hitting 8k subs. We're 71 or so, or no, 61 is it? Yeah, we're 61 off hitting 8k. While you're here all in the chat, please do consider, if you enjoyed the stream for the last 2 hours or so, please go down there, click subscribe. You actually don't realise how much it does help the channel, for all the effort that goes in behind the scenes, but I really would appreciate it. Before you go down, click subscribe on the channel and you'll be guaranteed a green arrow this week. Does Isak makes any sense here? Currently ever Charlison on. Not with Isak, no. I don't think he's worth the 10.5, especially if you're not captaining him over the next couple of weeks, especially if you're not captaining Salah. Sorry, Ryan. Gabriel, Senesi, Virgil, Bruno, Semenyo and Dye. Looks good there. Looks good. Right order. Gabriel, Senesi, Virgil, Bruno. Good stuff. Nice one. I've got Isak, so can't go Virgil and Bruno together. I can go Baleba over Caicedo, then Kanate and Bruno. Would you do that? Punting on Foden this game. Like if you're punting on Foden, I'd make sure just do the transfer of Bruno next week. Sorry, only saw the message there in the Patreon. Good to go. Gyökeres got 40 goals last season, albeit in Portugal. Yeah, he's got the fixtures coming up anyway, so I think he's good to go there too. Did Van de Ven in for Richards last minute, Gabriel to the bench. Fair enough. I think Arsenal are good to go. Problem if I take out Isak, I've 0.2. I'll have 4.2 in the bank, but the team still looks good. Nothing wrong with that. So just keep the money, save it for a rainy day when you need it. Haaland captain there, just double checking my own team. Haaland captain, Semenyo, all good there, and we're good to go. And that's going to be another deadline stream, the 27th of September. For those who know me, 27 is my lucky number, so that means we're getting a green hour this week. But yeah, that's going to be another deadline stream. Get your teams locked in. If you're wildcarding, make sure you make sure your wildcard is active. You don't want to be taking a -32 hit. All good there. That's better. Starting 11 and benching and good to go. Isak, Baleba, all good. That's going to be another deadline. If I take out Isak, yeah, Era Boo, good luck, mate. Hamad, appreciate that. Same to you, mate. Era Boo, indeed. Gone for Minta over Reinders. Wouldn't have done that. I would have went for Reinders. Minta didn't train yesterday, but I wish I could have triple captain Stephen Walsh after last night's performance. Definitely. Right, that's another stream done. Appreciate for everyone for tuning in. We did hit over the 100 viewer mark, which is great to see on the channel then also, and we're nearly on 2k views, which is great as well. I'm gonna have to go now because I have to go get ready for a wedding and let Leo back into the room there. Fair play to Leo, he went off chilling for the last 2 hours while I was on this stream. Before you do head off, please do consider hitting subscribe and give the stream a like before you go. But for now, that's going to be all. Yeah, another deadline stream out of the way. Haaland captain. We've got a bench boost, a cheapish bench boost coming along in Game Week 8, but I think we'll be fine to get some decent points on screen there, or on the week there. But yeah, we'll see you all during the week for a Game Week 7 team selection video. Can your team get 100 points this game week? I can't see why not. Maybe if I triple captain, maybe. But I think that's a decent team. If Arsenal get their clean sheet, if Gyökeres gets a return, maybe. Went with Murillo and Alanga to Vardiol and Ndai. Good luck with the game week, mate. Fenerbahce 1907. Appreciate that. Right, we're going to leave it there just because the bus is coming at 12, so I have an hour to get ready for this wedding. And yeah, that's it for another week. I really do appreciate everyone who tuned in. Best of luck for the week. I'll see y'all during the week. Era Boo. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.